You join me with a Mark 4.5 Facelift Focus ST track pack. I'm super looking forward to kind of showing you around this car. This car is in fully spec'd, so it's got every single option and it's got the important track pack. I've also got my Focus RS edition here. We might sort of show a separate video sort of comparing those two. But yeah, to talk about this car, show you what it's kind of like on the road, give you a bit of the sort of like owner's sort of initial impressions as well. And yeah, let me just take you through this because I'm sort of like blown away really, and we've got a nice sunny day for it too. And I'm specifically going to go over the track pack kind of elements. I've done reviews kind of on the Mark 4.5 Facelift Focus ST, 280 horsepower standard, front wheel drive, great little car. The track pack turns up a notch, and one of the reasons why I brought my RS here is because this is basically as close as you can get now to an RS. You know, they're not making a Focus ST, a Focus RS. Fast forwards are sort of changing quite a lot, and obviously the world's going to electric. But as the sun kind of dips on us, let's look through some of the cool bits of the track pack, because me and the owner have noticed stuff just from sort of standing just out here now. So yeah, first of all, in black, the first thing I noticed is you've got it's sort of like smoked front lights. Now this is something that I don't think was actually even mentioned, but it's definitely smoked 100%. It's got that sort of like stealth look to it, and I love it in black, and it's like a pearlescent black as well, which looks so nice in the sun. Another part, you get the black ST badge here. So again, trying to sort of get that sort of gloss black feel. You get gloss black sort of on the front bumper in certain areas where it would normally be sort of like almost grey plastic. Same with the grille. So hard to tell completely on camera because it's a black car, but you take my word for it and it does look really, really great. You've got bits to cool the brakes there. That's cool. Now this is the big part for me. The wheels. Now you get 10% bigger disc brakes, so these are 363mm discs. They are huge. Bear in mind this is a 19-inch wheel, huge caliper. When I drove the standard non-track pack car, the one thing I loved was the brakes. So the fact that you've got even more surface to actually stop it, it's only going to improve things. Yeah, huge stopping power, really, really great. And to give you an idea of how big those discs are, here's my RS, and you can see they're, I don't know, maybe about the same size, if not a little bit bigger on this compared to the RS. You get the gloss black wheels. Now these are lighter weight as well, so that's going to make a huge difference with unsprung weight. So that's really, really cool. Red ST badge there, and it comes up so nice. And these are obviously some of the main parts of the whole track pack. Now tyres, a lot of people don't necessarily kind of think too much of tyres and think like, oh yeah, just whatever's on there. But Ford have thought this through, and they really have kind of, yeah, gone all out on the track pack, which is why I think it's such a cool thing to actually go for. They've got Pirelli P0 Corsas, and you can see it there, P0 Corsa, but it also has a little FP badge there, and you can literally see they are basically, I would put them on the same mark as like Pilot Sport Cup 2s from Michelin, almost on that kind of like slick tyre kind of thing, mainly for the sunny weather like we got today. So that's specific, you know, the FP means that it's basically been designed specifically for this car. So it's all been sort of worked in conjunction. They have thought this through. This car would have gone around the Nürburgring loads. It would have had loads of testing to get it to that kind of point. So that's another huge part of just the track pack. You also can just about see, and it's going to be slightly hard to tell, but you've got gloss black all down the sides, gloss black mirrors shown there. Again, my head's kind of in the way. And I'll see if you can get this metallic flake. That looks quite cool. You get the gloss black roof. So the owner said to me you can't even spec a pan roof, which again makes sense. It give you like higher center of gravity with the weight, also ruin the lines and the whole point of kind of like the track pack in that sort of sense. So very much a stealth sort of sense. You also get it with the spoiler as well, so that's gloss black. Again, not normally like that. The lights, I don't actually think they're tinted any more than normal Focus ST, because for some normal Focus ST facelift has just literally has it like that anyway, so I don't think that's changed. But what is another difference is the badge, which again isn't mentioned on Ford's website, black around the side. That's something that's not necessarily the same from a normal one, so you get that as part of the track pack. You get the usual sort of like twin pipes exhaust, gloss black diffuser. Oh man, it's such a cool car, and a car I'm like super excited to share, because there's literally, well, I struggle to see any Mark 4.5 facelifts. I don't hear people talking about them, considering this is like Ford's sort of like going out. This is their swan song. This is literally it, the track pack. And I haven't even mentioned the main part of it all. It's about £3,000 for the track pack, but if you add up all the bits of how much they cost, it's a no-brainer to go for. The biggest part of this whole car is the KW coilover suspension. Also just Ford, it's called Ford Performance Suspension, but it's made by a company called KW. That suspension is really really expensive. In fact, you're going to be paying, if you want to get that fitted to a normal car, £2,300 I believe, as today's prices as I talk in April 2023. So to get it as part of the whole package is a no-brainer. That's manually adjustable, so essentially as I come around to this side of the car you can essentially play with the dampers sort of on the suspension, and that just changes the whole sort of complete ethos of the car. You can even see it there. Can you see that? Looks so cool. I don't think you can really see it as much on the front, because all you see is giant disc. But that can be adjusted, and you have like a little toolkit which comes in the boot, which you can play around with. Basically make it nice and firm. You can make it a little bit softer as well. But yeah, that has to be done. Believe you might have to get it on a ramp, or you might be able to get yourself underneath there with your little toolkit, play around with like the rebound settings, and that's pretty cool to do. And will it bring it more in line with, say, like my RS from the Mark III generation? We'll have to see, we'll have to find out. So you lose the adjustable suspension, which is automatic in the car, so you can basically press a button and it would make it softer or harder. This, there's no button pushing, it's going to be what setting that it's set at. From standard, from factory, I'm not too sure what these are set up as. I imagine they're set up as like the road kind of setting, and then if you wanted to take it to track, you probably dial it up, or if you're on like a bumpy track, maybe you don't. Yeah, that's it's so cool to have it here. But briefly we'll check inside, because it won't take too long, because there is no difference inside to this car to a normal Mark 4.5 facelift ST. The seats are brilliant. The Ford Performance seats replaced the Recaros, absolutely really nice. Wheels great. It's a cool car, it's spacious, tinted windows, so it's a little bit darker in the back, and you get the huge screen. 1,200 miles this owner's done in literally a few weeks. He's only had it literally in April, so massive thank you for coming down. Now we want to know a little bit more about the gear shifter, because again, not really mentioned, but believe the ratios, or it's a little bit more of a short shifter. We'll have to find out. And yeah, let's take this one for a drive and let's see what this is like, because yeah, super looking forward to this. So in the track pack for a drive, let's start her up. Right, okay, so I'm trying to notice first initial things. Got a heads-up display. Actually, I'll tell you what, I might actually show you guys a little bit of what I'm seeing, because this is the first kind of time. We'll turn down the music, good old copyright stuff. So yeah, heads-up display. I think you can just about see the miles per hour. I really like that. That's an extra as well. That's not like part of the track pack, that's just an option. You have, yeah, this car has every single option, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And then you obviously, you get like the cool screen, and yeah, very futuristic, very 2023, this obviously being a 2023 plate car. Let's take this for a drive. I might straight away put it into sport mode. I think that's what's going to be fun. Yeah, because all up to temperatures, everything's all okay. And I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, right. So all okay. Make sure the seats are okay. So I won't adjust it too much. Yeah, there we go. Right, first. I love the noise. That's the really big thing, because I know so many cars are getting quieter and quieter, but Ford have really nailed this one. Having just come out of my RS, I'll be able to know. It's just early on, it's like... Oh, it definitely feels a lot more planted to the road. Yeah, oh, that feels so much better. Like, that's within, like, because I really have spent so much time in the standard Focus ST. I'm probably one of the only real people that is just a normal guy who can kind of see what it's like. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. We're on quite slow roads. And you've obviously got the Corsa tyres as well, Pirelli P0 Corsas, which are very sticky. Let's see. Gearbox feels a little bit different. Yeah, it feels a little bit shorter. Yeah. See, these are things that they're just not going to say. So I haven't driven a Mark 4.5 Facelift Focus ST with all of these options. The heads-up display looks fantastic. It is really good, because it's just like a little glance down.
If you put like a map on,
yeah, go for it.
It will come up on the...
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's really cool. See, and then you get like the shift indicators as well. It's got a lot. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter, which is nice. Obviously, nice for like acceleration, nice for the feel. Suspension feels okay to me. It doesn't, like, if I briefly compare it to my RS, it's not as firm as that. But yeah, it's a good place to be. Yeah, as I'm trying to learn, as I'm kind of in this. Seats still feel just as good. I think you need like a really proper supportive seats when you're sort of like hammering this car around. It's nice. It's really nice. Yeah, I'd almost say it's like, it's kind of trying to be like getting into like the RS levels. Like, it feels like someone sort of said, let's try to get it. Let's send it out. Let's send out something really good for this track pack and make it decent. We've got a bit of like some twisty roads kind of up ahead, so that'll be quite cool to try. Yeah, it's firm. I suppose from the viewer, people who are watching this one, it's going to be firmer than a normal Focus ST. So that's just something you'd have to accept. So if you want the track pack, you're really going to have to, yeah, you have to accept that it's going to be more of a fun car as well. Although the owner kind of has commuted in this one, you know, he's done 1,200 miles in the car, and it's livable. It's livable if you're like a bit more of an enthusiast, I'd say, because you can feel it. But then all that will come into fruition when you're kind of like on a twisty road. It certainly feels okay to me, and you can adjust this as well. So if it doesn't suit you, if it is too firm, you can put it to as soft as the coilovers will go, as the suspension will go, which is cool. Or you could put it even firmer if you really wanted to go onto like a really firm track. But this is like a proper bumpy section of road. It might not even look it, so it'll basically feel it. Yeah, I mean,
it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I try to think, because I'm used to kind of like the firmer cars. I mean, it's 100% you notice the difference. You're getting your money's worth. Something has been changed. That's the big thing. And yeah, and you get auto rev matching in this as well, don't you? Yeah, so that's really helpful, and that will really help protect the clutch. Oh wow, the brakes.
Yeah, the brakes are really sharp.
Wow, that is like...
I haven't even tried emergency stopping yet.
It feels like it's got so much Yeah, the brakes. It's weird because like there's the brakes I was saying from the normal one were like one of the best parts of the car. Like I was like, they've really overdone the brakes, which is a weird thing because most people don't really even think about that when they're buying a car. It's like, oh, it's got bigger discs, it's got better stuff about it, doesn't really affect people. So the fact that they've gone even bigger, it just feels like it's going to probably have loads of life because it's got so much like surface to kind of to push on. Caliper's huge anyway. Oh wow, yeah, that's really good feel.
Sometimes you even brake too early.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. You've got like.
You don't realise how like much braking power there is.
Yeah, it's got like so much life in it. And I guess that's why it is the track pack. You can, and it pulls really well.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I've driven one stock and I've driven one with a slight tune on
It seems to really pull.
it. Yeah, it might be a little bit.
It's lighter as well. It's also that one, so it's a lot lighter.
That is the thing. So lightweight wheels definitely save some. I'm pretty confident the suspension is probably going to be a little bit lighter as well.
And also the glass roof adds on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So you take that off, you've got a lightweight roof.
And that's the only one that I've driven with the glass, the top roof. And the fact that maybe because it's so much more planted and stuck to the road, it can stick its power down. I mean, like there's no traction issues.
I do feel like the tyres are doing quite well as well. That they're not spinning as much as I was expecting them to spin. They seem to be really gripping.
They definitely feel like you can lean on them. They feel very like
even in the rain.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I suppose if you get them hot enough as well, probably would be fine. And it's not like a proper like unusable tyre.
I honestly thought in the rain I was going to struggle.
Yeah,
I honestly thought, but then when I drove through like the flooded M25, and it was literally fine. It was just not a single issue.
Yeah, no, the tyres are, and since even when I started my channel, the things that I always care about in a car have always been like brakes, suspension, tyres. Tend to make more of a difference than everything else. Tend to make more of a difference than power. Tend to make 280 horsepower is what they say. It feels a bit more than that, unless it's just my perception.
I don't know. This just seems to pull.
Yeah, it doesn't feel slow. Let's just go with that. It gets up to speed, and that's with a manual as well. So you're sort of changing through the gears. Maybe actually that is something with the gear shifter, with its being shorter. It feels like acceleration's a little bit better.
I just wish they stated a little bit more what the changes have made.
They don't say enough, and the thing is they would have tested this loads of times on like the Nürburgring and everything. So I'm surprised. Yeah, we have to kind of
guess.
We have to. Well, yeah, you do have to guess. And when you're spending X amount of money on something like the track pack, I think it has a track pack mode or something.
Yeah, it's got race mode as well. It's got slippery normal sport racetrack.
That's interesting. So if I press mode again, is that right? Oh no, that goes out of it. So if we go racetrack, is that gonna? I'm not even too sure what that's gonna do.
No, your guess is as good as mine.
Steering feels a little bit sharper. It makes a good noise, doesn't it? Because it's like a real noise out the exhausts. It's always dangerous driving cars like this because I'm like, I'd be so happy with just having this as like a one car.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a kind of car that even if you didn't use it Monday to Friday, say if you walk to work or something.
That's what I wanted. I wanted this as like my weekend thing, but yeah, just.
And I'm getting that more than the non-track pack kind of version.
Yeah.
It feels like, oh, I just want to go for a blast, and like you'll see some of my favourite roads, and yeah, it feels like it can do that. Tyres feel really like confidence inspiring. It feels like you can really lean on it. It's a special place, and just something that is just, you're not gonna, Ford aren't gonna do anything else coming forward. Most hot hatches or most cars are not thinking about this kind of thing now, this kind of performance level. It's all for the electric. It's all for, you said your other half had a mild hybrid in it for the Fiesta, which is the way way we're going, I think it's a little bit of a shame, because I think these cars still have so much to offer. You can still get decent economy, you can still get towards like 40 miles per gallon in a fun car. The more time I'm actually spending in this, the more I'm feeling like I would find it perfectly fine to kind of live with the track pack. Oh man, those brakes are just like, that was the first time I went on it, I was like, it's got so much to give. And I have driven a Focus ST on track. I wish I got the to have the chance.
Yeah, that would have been nice to do in the track pack.
Do it in the track pack. It's exactly as it says in the name. It's really good. Amazing. The steering feels pretty good as well. Once you go into racetrack mode.
I haven't actually tried that.
It's definitely firmer than it is even in sport. And I like it because in the standard model, it changes the suspension to get it firmer. So with this, it's like you know where you're at with the suspension, so you know on that side.
I kind of prefer that almost, because if it keeps switching, I don't kind of know what I'm prepared for. Whereas I'm used to how it is, so I know how to drive it.
Yeah, because that's the thing, because most people go to their one setting, don't they, that they like. They like that type of steering, avoid the potholes. I like the auto rev match as well. That's just something that really, should be on all cars. It just protects the clutch, it protects everything. Man, it's such a good car. I really like it. I really like just the normal Focus ST. I don't know if there's anything different inside in terms of the track pack. I mean, that looks slightly darker. I think the stealth nature of it is pretty cool. When I checked it before, it did say one of the modes, it added a mode. It said it added the racetrack mode, but I think it's enhanced the racetrack mode, because the normal one has that as a mode. So that's not the change. It's really like
it just wants to go as well.
Really good throttle response as well. You get a few burbles on like overrun, so if you lift off at a certain speed. I'm tempted to overtake this guy, but I'm sort of like,
the opportunity arises.
We'll turn in left in a second anyway, so yeah, I like the noise. Oh, but the brakes though.
Yeah.
That's something really crazy. It just makes, because the RS has got decent brakes as well, and it's just like, they feel so strong. And that would enable you to like keep the momentum going on a road, so you keep the speed up. Oh, I mean, you can literally brake on an exit straight away. But yeah, we'll go left here. It's definitely a smile car. Oh wow, there's so much left in the brakes. They're very like torquey, and they're very good low down for which petrol cars normally obviously rev it out more, but with this it just feels so fast. Like you could easily be sort of like 5th gear in like any, and you'd probably get up to speed pretty quickly. Yeah, it doesn't move around as much.
No.
It doesn't move around as much on the road.
It just feels planted. It's the best word.
Because that was the one thing with the standard one. I felt like it was a little bit more skippy.
Yeah. I mean, the suspension on the standard one's higher as well, isn't it? It's like 10 mil higher, so those are just lightweight.
Oh man, brakes. And then so it's normally, when you've got really suspension like this, it's normally at really slow speeds when you notice the sort of like, so we're like 30 miles an hour now. I know it gets a little bit bumpy. Steering, I feel a lot more like I understand what's going on the front end than I have done before in a car. Mixture between the suspension, mixture between the tyres, the lightweightness as well. has got more than 280 horsepower.
It feels like it to me,
but again, if we're saying like it's a lighter weight car, that's basically 3 horsepower in itself. I love the stealth look of it too, because I feel like you could just like, no one would really know, no one would notice it, but then if you know, you know, kind of thing.
So I am looking at Revo Stage 2.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be interesting.
Because I saw one, a Revo, and it was pushing, I think it was 408.
408.
408, and it was just under 600 torque.
And the engines can take it because the 2.3s.
Yeah, all they changed was they pulled the intercooler out and put in a bigger one with like wider tubes.
Yep.
And they took out the air filter and put in a proper cone one, but with heat protection, and that was it. Right,
because that would then bring it up to, because my Focus RS is Revo Stage 2. That would, and it feels like it can handle it with the suspension, with the lighter weight wheels, with the brakes, which were really good anyway. Yeah, that is. You would get wheel spinning like more, but I actually feel like it's so much more stable. Yeah, I mean that's like a little bend. There's nothing, is it?
There's nothing.
It's nothing for the car. The car's not rolling at all. It feels like it's getting better, like contact patch on the ground, so it feels like it can actually.
This is with traction off.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's what track. Yeah, that's what track. So it loosens it, doesn't it? Yeah. I like it because they would have thought a little bit about redesigning racetrack mode to like make it suit. Because I imagine, you'd set this. For
I think there's a light there now.
Yeah. And I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't even like. And that's where I kind of like the slightly lower power, because you can kind of use the whole potential. I can't begin to describe the brakes. You know, it's something that you're never going to be able to describe on camera. It's just, yeah, they're really, really good. And I think it's a bit of a bargain.
For what you get.
Because sometimes it's like they try to, obviously, oh, it's a package, you're going to be paying more for this. But I had a little, because I did some checks on this track pack to see what other people were like, some of the bits that they were saying. And they were saying the suspension, if you wanted to get that separately, you pay £2,300 today if you wanted it. So that's pretty much straight away all of what you paid.
Yeah.
And then you've got the lighter weight wheels. I don't know, £1,000 for those probably. You're probably looking at it. Bigger discs, they're going to cost more. The gloss black parts going to cost more. The little tweaks.
The tyres, I don't know how much they cost.
The tyres are definitely going to be more than your standard ones. It's
calipers.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
It's really, really good. I'm always tempted to let these cars go for a second, because there's a nice little windy section, so I'll flip the camera around the other side and go from there. But yeah, if you haven't, obviously people who've watched my channel before, I would recommend the Focus ST. And yeah, I really do feel this is worthy of almost like an RS kind of badge in some ways.
It's like their last models, they just thought they'd go out with a bang, it feels like almost.
Exactly. I'm going to spin it around here. Yeah, to go out on a bang, but let's spin the camera to the front, because these are really fun roads, so we can get an idea of what so on the fly. So yeah, fun roads and national speed limit, which helps us. I like how the car's like mapped and set up. What a shame, 2 Series.
sightseeing as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got nice views here, and also there's someone actually parked in the middle of the road, which is not what they should be doing. I'm going to let them go ahead a little bit because this is like a fun bit. I love the heads-up display.
Yeah,
it's just a little glance.
I don't even use that sometimes. I just use the heads-up display.
You don't need to.
It's got everything I need on there.
Because this is a heavy braking kind of zone. Because it's there's so much more in the brakes because you've got such good like modulation. Oh man, it's like you don't even have to.
It just sticks.
So planted. That feels nicer than it does in my RS. My RS feels overly firm, so it feels like it's like really. It's just not set up for the roads.
Yeah. It felt like the medium of the.
Yeah.
To clear my way.
Yeah. And then again, you go straight on the brakes, and it's like, wow.
You can put that power in, and then you know you can stop if you need to, just like that.
I'm not like, I know you mentioned Revo Stage 2, I'm not wanting for more power at the moment on the road. It's like, it's enough.
It just pulls, I don't really.
Yeah, but it's that, in the corners you're just like, yeah, it's nothing for the car. No. It's absolutely.
I haven't come even to a corner that's actually properly tested it yet, to be honest.
You feel like, oh, it can't do it, and then it's just, actually no, that's the wrong way of saying it. Feels like it can go a lot more than you're able to kind of do yourself. The car is that capable. So I've done like 2,000 miles in my RS. I'd be happy with this, like genuinely. Like you can just the years of development and times have changed. It's like that's what you're getting. You know, 2018 or 2016 was a long time ago.
Oh, they would.
Oh, it's got a much better turning circle than my RS as well.
Third gear's got real pull to it. Have you noticed that?
It really pulls. Like I haven't, and I felt this before. You don't feel like you have to go right to the rev line. You can just be like in the mood, in the mode of it all. I'm much preferring the steering. I don't know if it's obviously they've done stuff with the brakes and they've done stuff with the lightweight wheels, but I don't know if they've changed like the settings to make it feel a bit better.
There's no way to know either.
No, there's no. There literally is. The tyres are a big thing, and I like that whole FP full performance specific. You know, they've taken this car with those tyres and those conditions out on track. And I saw a few things when they were taking it around the Nürburgring, which is obviously a little bit British B-roady-esque. It's a really good car for this kind of thing. It's got launch control as well, but I mean, we'll save that. But I have done it. It hooks up well. Right, we've got a car behind us now. Yeah, see, even for these bits, I like third as like my sort of like setting in gear.
Yeah.
So I took this. I'm gonna take it as fast as I can in my RS. Yeah, so that is, because I was checking the speed on that one, I took that at 53. And that was exactly what I took it in the RS, which is four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's we have to get past that. Yeah, you see the brakes. Yeah, the brakes are just like the brakes. Yeah, I mean
they're so sharp.
Really good. And you said before, isn't it, reversing camera?
Yeah, it's got the cross traffic on the wind mirrors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if a car tries to overtake you or it was next to you, it'll come up on the wind mirrors.
That's pretty cool. Right, we'll have to go to some sort of conclusion time as we head back. I think if you're watching this, it's a long video, but it's worth it to get some sort of explanations of what this is, because Ford don't explain it now, and they're not promoting these cars at all, seemingly. Yeah, I would get the track pack if you want. I think people who get Ford performance cars want them to be the performance level. So if you want the performance level, get the track pack. Because even if you have kids, like the owner that had the one before, kids don't mind for suspension in the back. So it works for like family, it works for if you're taking it on a track. And yeah, the big things, the tyres, the brakes, the suspension, it all adds up to a really, really good package. And they've done something in the mode as well, with racetrack mode, just to dial it in and make it really enjoyable. Like, there's nothing like, I said it before on the previous one, it's like this feels like a much more fun car, and now it's still fun, but now it's really capable. Whereas I always feel like with going to my RS, it feels more on the capable kind of sides. I can't get over the brakes. That's the huge thing. And it's very, like, a lot of like contact patch on the road with the tyres. And someone did comment and say, oh, these tyres, they don't exist, Ford have just, it's a joke or something like that. And I'm like, well, no, they do exist, and they're on this car. And they make yeah, for a really good car. Really good car. And it's a lot more about like driver skill, I think, with like front wheel drive, and the fact that you haven't got as crazy power as some of like its rivals, I suppose. But would I take this over like a Golf GTI? Yes. Would I take it over a GTI Club Sport? Yes. Would I take it over an i30N? Yes. And they're all really good cars. So yeah, Ford Swan Song. I think I've spoken enough. Yeah, comment below. Let us know any questions that you have about it. You know, this owner's done 1,200 miles. Hopefully, keep in contact, and I can kind of let you guys know how it's been. But it's a really great car, and I think they've done something which is will make Ford performance and enthusiasts really happy, really happy. It certainly makes me happy, and my expectations are sort of like more than what I expected. I think it's made that much of a difference. Yeah, I would, if I was looking to get this car, I would really only look for the track pack, but that's just for me. And I think if you've got a normal one and you're thinking of getting a track pack, I actually think it's quite a good swap, because you're getting that much of a level, that much change. So yeah, I can recommend it. And yeah, I think we'll end it there. But yeah, cheers guys for watching. Comment below, subscribe, plenty more content to come.